It's really interesting that the accusation is with a person that is in charge, that's clearly been put there, okay, is that they themselves are the ones that have the evil in their heart.
Yep.
I think that's interesting.
It is, and because that's where it's coming from. It's coming out. It's based on self. If you think about it, it's almost like God intentionally chooses people who have a very fleshly background as evidence and proof that they're not the ones behind it. I specifically remember going through finals for my first ordination. I've had to get ordinated a couple of times just because, not had to, but chose to. And I got to the last, I mean, it was very humbling. I got to the last, I'd saved the two easiest tests for last, and I wouldn't take them. They were weddings and funerals, at least I thought they were easy. They weren't theological. And I didn't take them. I kept putting it off, and finally one day I just sat down and prayed. And I mean, it started convicting me that I wasn't finishing it. And I just said, Lord, I can't do it. Because once I take this test, I know I can pass those two. The rest is going to happen automatically, and I'm going to be called a pastor, and and be ordained, and I'm just not good enough, And because I knew me, I knew my heart, and he knew what I'm talking about. And he actually said, I mean, it was like one of those days where I heard him very clear, and he said, "You're right, you're not." And I'm just like, well, that's not very encouraging. But about the time he said that, there was a pause, and he said, "But my son is." I almost ruined my computer laying on it crying. And I was like, that's what I needed to hear. And that's what people miss. When Moses is up there, it's not because he wants to do it. It's not because any of these people, you look at them, none of them are out there. They're not a bunch of egomaniacs that want to do this. I mean, there are people out there that do that, but it's so blatantly obvious when you see them, that it's not coming from their heart. And it just totally changed my world, and it made me realize I can do this because it's absolutely not about me. It's about him, and that's been my goal.